Well, it's definitely a conversation worth continuing, and I'm glad to say we can do that with Larissa Nalini. Welcome to CGTN America. You are better known in your native Brazil as Labac, one of the most distinctive voices in Brazilian alternative music right now. We've got a lot to talk about here with Me Too. Before we do that, let's introduce our viewers to a little bit of your music. Let's listen to the sounds of Labac. You were cutting your hair off in that video, Larissa, obviously very different now. Is it okay to admit that every time I watch that, I sort of wonder whether I need a haircut too? Is that okay to admit?
Oh my God, yeah,
okay.
Of course.
that wasn't a protest of some sort, though?
Actually, it was because I really needed a change, and people were starting to connect me to my hair.
Okay.
I really need them to connect me to my music and not my layout. So.
And this is what it's all about with the music. Women in the music industry, of course, want to have their music out there and have that presence. It's tempting to think sometimes that Me Too was a sort of Hollywood thing, but as we've seen, it's a completely global phenomenon. How much of this is unique to Brazil? Is there a particular sort of Brazilian experience in all of this?
We've been talking about women and women's rights in music industry, I guess more oftenly since 2016. And Argentina, Uruguay, lots of countries of South America, we are trying to get together and think, what can we do to, I don't know, to do something, because it needs to change. I don't know, 3 years ago, 95% of lineups from all festivals were made by women, by men.
Wow,
and
95%, that's
huge.
Something
like that. And now it's starting to change, but it's not even close to get 50-50, you know.
So you really noticed that as a performer, going to these festivals and seeing it just dominated by men?
Exactly. So we figured out that we should do something. We made this festival. It's called Sonora. I rule the São Paulo edition, and it happens in 15 countries and almost 70 cities. And we made it in Brazil, and they spread it so fast because we need to talk about it. So it's a whole, it's all made by women and just women playing. And it happens because we need to get together and we need to do it, you know.
I appreciate it's a personal issue. Can I ask you, how much of this relates to you? Is this something, discrimination, harassment? Is this something that you've experienced as a...
Yes, I guess every woman in the world has lived something like that. And as an artist, being, I don't know, there's this guy that is helping me with my equipment, something like that. And those jokes about, I don't know if you know what to do or how to do this, you know.
This sounds like a familiar argument for many women artists.
Yes.
How much is it influencing, Larissa, what you're thinking about, the way you write, your songwriting? Is it having an impact on what you're writing about?
Yes, of course, because I feel that young women are now listening to me, mostly in Brazil and in Portugal too. So I feel I really need to tell them that it's okay, and if we are together, we can go through this. So it's totally impacting everything I'm writing or everything I'm saying on social media, something like that.
It's interesting that this Me Too was a movement from the ground up, if you like, and the governments around the world perhaps have been a little slow to, even though they do try and legislate, how much can governments do, or do you think this has to be a kind of cultural change?
Totally, cultural change, yeah, of course. We would like to mention that yesterday, a politician, a really strong woman, woman, were killed by really bad people, and
she was a defender of women's rights.
Yes, exactly, and it happens just because of it, and it doesn't reach in other places, and it's really affecting us right now there, just because they are telling us to shut up. If we don't, bad things are going to happen, like happened to her.
So there's a violent reaction to this in some respects in Brazil.
Exactly. So the only thing I can say that we can do, I guess the key is just to get together. If we get like afraid and each one of us in a corner, nothing's gonna happen. So we really need to get together.
For sure. We'll have to leave it there. Larissa Nalini, otherwise known as Labac, thank you very much for joining us here on Global Business. Pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. Thanks.